Hello everyone. In this session, we will be looking at the low-hanging fruits for UPSC Civil Services Examination Prelims 2021. Before we begin this discussion, let me introduce myself. I am Anil Basak. I have done my graduation in civil engineering from IIT Delhi. I passed out in 2018. I have given 3 attempts in UPSC Civil Services Examination, that is in 2018, 2019 and 2020. Based on my 2019 attempt, I got an AIR of 616 and got into the IRS IT, that is Indian Revenue Service Income Tax. And in my 2020 attempt, I am appearing for the interview. Let's begin the discussion. And before we begin the discussion, let me tell you that what we will be discussing about the low-hanging fruits, or basically the important things that one need to focus for the civil services examination. Okay, so what all things one need to focus for the examination if you have less time, or when you are revising, what all things you need to prioritize for the examination. Okay, in this manner you can score very high marks in the examination. Okay, so whatever I am telling you in the upcoming slides is based on the PYQ strand, that is the previous year questions analysis. For that I have taken extensive help from Mrunal sir's PYQ analysis. There I have given the link at the end of the video. You can see the link. Also I have attached the PDF for the previous year questions. So you can see that table. In this table, you can see that the 3 sections which constitute around 60% of the marks, or the 60% of the question, that is the polity, economy and the environment section. So these 3 should be focused more. Then we have the science and tech, geography, agriculture and so on. Also, you will notice that I have not made any section for the current affairs, and the current affairs is covered within these sections. For example, if a question was related to polity and it was in the current or the current affairs, I have included within this. This is based on the classification used by Mrunal. Okay. So the first section we will be looking is the polity section. For polity, we know that we have a well-established book, that is the M. Lakshmikant. Okay. So for M. Lakshmikant, what all chapters we need to focus, okay, for scoring good marks in the examination. So I've given you the list. So first thing that you first few chapters that you need to focus is these. That is the preamble, fundamental rights, DPSPs, or the directive principle of state policies, the fundamental duties. Okay. Also, you will see that you must be knowing that this fundamental rights chapter is very lengthy. Okay, I know it is lengthy, but however, it is really important for the exam. Whether it be it prelims or mains or interview or understanding of the current affairs, this is important. Also in the fundamental rights chapter, you don't need to remember all the articles exact details. You just need to remember the titles of the articles. Say article 14 deals with right to equality, article 21 deals with right to life and liberty. These things you need to remember. Also, Supreme Court has given judgments regarding various fundamental rights. Some of the fundamental rights are derived fundamental rights. That is, these fundamental rights could be derived from other fundamental rights. They have asked in the examination. For example, in 2019, they asked about right to marry partner of one's choice comes under which article. So that was part of Article 21, that is right to life and liberty. And this was given by Supreme Court in one of the judgments. Okay. So also in these chapters, you need to have a good understanding of these chapters. Okay. So more or less they asked conceptual questions from these chapters, and it is not that difficult. If you spend time, you can cover these chapters, or you might have already covered this. So when you are revising the Lakshmikant, read these chapters. These are important, particularly this fundamental rights chapter. Okay, fundamental rights and the DPSPs. First the fundamental right, then DPSP, then these 2 chapters. Okay. Then another chapter that is important, that is the center-state relations. One thing that you will realize that the center-state relations chapter is highly factual. Okay, so one might forget whatever he or she has read from that chapter. Okay, so what one can do is that frequently revise this chapter. Also, many of the things that are dealt in this chapter are already covered in other chapters. For example, the emergency provisions are part of this chapter. Okay, within the center-state relations. Also, this chapter encompasses many of the things which is important. Okay, for understanding the federal relations. This is what I would suggest is that read this chapter first when you are revising the things, or read this chapter multiple times. Then only you will be able to recollect in the examination. Now let's move to another chapter that is important, that is the legislature chapter. So in legislature we have the parliament and the state legislature. Okay, parliament chapter is also very lengthy. Okay, this fundamental rights and parliament chapter both Both these chapters are very lengthy. Okay, both these chapters. However, they are really important for say mains or prelims. Okay, or even the interview. So what I would tell you is that when you have read the parliament chapter, straight away go to the state legislature chapter. In this manner, you will be able to see the analogy between these two chapters. For example, between the money bill and these two in parliament and the state legislature or ordinary bill. What are the differences between parliament and a state legislature? For example, parliament can pass constitutional amendment bill. State legislature can only approve a constitutional amendment bill which affects the federal relations. Okay. Also, all state legislatures do not have two houses, while parliament has two houses, that is the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. These kind of things will be dealt in these two chapters. When you read these chapters, one first parliament and then state legislature, then you can see the similarities and the differences between these chapters. Also, in polity, you will realize many of the chapters, just like this parliament and state legislatures, are interconnected or they have analogies or differences. For example, the president and the governor chapter, chief minister and the prime minister chapter. Okay, these are all analogous chapters. So when you have read chief minister, when you have read the prime minister chapter, then go to the chief minister chapter. Or when you have read the NHRC, go to the SHRC. Okay, and so on. Then we have this judiciary, that is the Supreme Court and the High Court. Okay, so first you need to read the chapter Supreme Court, then go to the High Court. In previous year question, you will realize they asked about the removal procedure for Supreme Court judges, and also various important articles related to Supreme Court, say Article 142. These kind of things they have asked in the previous year questions. Okay, so one should read these two chapters in greater depth, or should devote more time to these two chapters. Okay. And then we have another chapter, that is the making of the Constitution, and this chapter is also part of the modern Indian history syllabus. So what one can do is that study this chapter, making of the Constitution, from both the sources at once. However, to make your life easy, I have already combined all the information or all the important information from both Lakshmikant and Spectrum. You can click on the link. Okay. Also, one thing I would like to emphasize is that in many of the slides, I have attached some link like this. Click here. You can, if you are not able to open this link, what you can do is that you can turn on the presenter view, then you can click on the link. Okay. Also some of the links are there in the notes section of the presentation slide. Okay. Let's move to the other important section, that is the economy section. For economy, we have this Mrunal sir's economy course that is there in the Unacademy. You don't need to buy that course. What you can do is that you can selectively read the PDF. I have attached the link for the PDF. Okay. So when you turn on the presenter view for this presentation, you can see the link. Okay. You can click there. So what all things one need to focus on in this PDF, because this PDF is around 700 pages long. You can't read all the pages. That is not it is not advisable. The cost benefit analysis or the cost benefit ratio is very low. So three basic pillars one need to focus. First and the very important pillar is the money and banking pillar. So in that you need you have to read the pillar 1A and 1B. Okay, that deals with the money and banking. Well, you can skip that share market chapter or read it in very less amount of time, because we have only one or two questions asked in the prelims from share market. If you analyze the previous year question, this you can see. Okay. Then we have the balance of payment and the international trade chapter. In the balance of payment, we will be seeing current account, capital account, FDI, FPI. All these things are dealt in the balance of payment chapter. This is also important chapter. Then we have the international trade. In international trade, we need to learn about which all countries we trade with, which country is our largest trading partner, from which country we import the most, to which country we export the most. Okay. What all items do we export, what all commodities do we import the most, to which country we export our agricultural commodities the most. For example, rice. So for example, rice, India is the largest exporter, that they asked in 1 year in 2018 prelims paper. Okay, so that you need to know. So in international trade, wherever India is leader or wherever we import the most, from which country or commodities, that you need to know. Okay, you can see the previous year question. You will get a better understanding of these chapters. Okay, then we have the other chapter, that is the sectors of economy chapter. This chapter is a very long chapter in the PDF. Okay. However, what you can do is that you can selectively read these chapters. Okay, that is the indicators of unemployment. So how do we measure unemployment? That is the current weekly status or the usual status. These kind of things are there in this chapter. Then we have the chapter on GDP, how to calculate GDP, what is GDP, what is the difference between GDP and say NDP or GNP or GNI. How do we measure GDP, like the income method or the expenditure method? These kind of things are given in the chapter. Okay. Then we have this very important chapter, that is the chapter dealing with inflation. So what are the indices for measuring inflation, like the CPI or WPI, that is the consumer price index, wholesale price index, which all departments or ministries publishes this CPI, WPI, what all things are given weightage in CPI and WPI, say manufacturing or food and fuel. These all things are asked in the examination. Then we have the indexes or indices of production, that is the IIP, index of industrial production, or the PMI, purchasing manager index. These kind of things are there in this production chapter. Okay, you need to see this, which firm or which organization publishes these indexes. Okay, and this is important for examination. What all things are given the most weightage in these indexes. This all you should see. If you have analyzed the previous year question, you will realize these are things asked in the examination, and these are not very difficult to remember, or not, or you don't need to give too much time to cover this. Okay. Also, some of the things that I would like to tell you regarding the Mrinal's economy PDF, so that you can cover it in very less amount of time, or to comprehensively cover the Mrinal's economy. What one can do is that one should leave the sections which are specifically asked in the mains. Okay. So some of the things that they asked in the mains, you should not read them, because you have very less time for the prelims. Also, for mains, you will be reading mains from the Mains 365 magazine, or the newspaper, or any other compilation which you read, say Insights, or any other thing that you follow. So don't rely on Mrinal's economy for main section. Okay. So for Mrinal's economy, you just need to focus on the prelims part. Okay. Also, you should leave the chapter of microeconomics, because this is highly irrelevant for the examination. For in past 8 years, they have asked only one question. Okay. For past say since 2012, they have asked only one question. In 2018, they asked one question that could have been solved without knowing much about the microeconomics. Okay, so what I would suggest is that skip this microeconomics chapters from Mrinal economy, as well as the microeconomics NCRT. That is, these are not really useful for the examination. Also for the Mrinal's economy, say this 2020 PDF, you can supplement this with last 1 year's current affairs. So you can see current affairs magazine for 2021 prelims, or whatever notes you have made from the newspaper. So this way you can complement the Mrinal economy with the current affairs of the past 1 year, that is from June 2020 to May 2021, or up to May 50, or from June 2020 to April 2021, or from June 2020 to 15th May 2021. Okay. Then we have the environment section. And in environment section, what one needs to focus is this: the tiger reserve, biosphere reserve, Ramsar sites, important species, wildlife sanctuary, these kind of national parks. These are things that is asked in the examination. So what one needs to do is take maps, or take map of India, and in that map, say that is a political map, will do plot the tiger reserve. Okay, so and the biosphere reserve in two separate maps, and also the Ramsar site. So in 3 maps you will plot these 3. Okay, so in this manner you will remember in which states these are located. That is a tiger reserve, biosphere reserve, Ramsar site. There are around 50 tiger reserves. Okay, so you can plot them on map. So also there are 18 biosphere reserves. You should also plot them on map. And then we have the Ramsar sites. In Ramsar sites, some are natural wetlands, some are artificial. That one needs to know. Okay, in which all states they are located. That one needs to know. Which all Ramsar sites are in the Montrex record. Okay. Now let's come back to the tiger reserve and biosphere reserve part. In the biosphere reserve, we know that it is a very large area in biosphere reserve. So we have the national park, or we may have the tiger reserve. As you know, some of the tiger reserves are also national parks. So if you know where a particular tiger reserve is located, and if they change the question, the same name of the tiger reserve, but changing its name to say the national park, so you know where it is located. Okay, so when you cover tiger reserves, you must be knowing many of the national parks also. However, some of the national parks are not tiger reserve. So but there are many national parks or wildlife sanctuary. However, you cannot cover all of them. What I would suggest is that you cover only those national parks or wildlife sanctuary which were frequently in news. Okay, so know about their location, what all important species are there, okay, or any other unique feature of that national park or wildlife sanctuary that is asked in the examination. Okay, if you see the previous year question, so they asked about where is the Namdapa National Park located. These kind of things they have asked in the examination. In the tiger reserve section, you can prepare some facts like the which tiger reserve is the largest in India, tiger reserve with highest tiger density, tiger reserve with highest number of tiger. In 2020, they asked about the tiger reserve with largest area, that is the NSTR tiger reserve, that is Nagarjun Sri Salem tiger reserve. Similarly, you can do with the biosphere reserve, which type biosphere reserve the largest, and so on. These kind of questions are asked. Also within a biosphere reserve, they ask which all national parks are there. If you see the previous year question, 1 year they asked about which all national parks are there in the Nilgiri biosphere reserve. Then they asked about the Agastyamalai biosphere reserve. If you have plotted the biosphere reserve in the map and also the tiger reserve, then you would be knowing within this say biosphere reserve there this tiger reserve is there, and you could have eliminated the option. Okay, or if you have seen the previous year question, then you would have known whether that Silent Valley National Park is within the Nilgiri biosphere reserve. That could have helped you in solving the question of in the subsequent year they asked about the Agastyamalai biosphere reserve, which all tiger reserve are there in the Agastyamalai biosphere reserve. So if you plot them on the map and they give you the option, then you can easily eliminate. So they've given some national park from say Telangana and they are asking about that Agastyamalai biosphere reserve, then you can easily cross out those options. So plotting them on map will help you. Okay, so for these kind of questions. Also, not all species are important for the exam. Only those species which occurred frequently in frequently in newspaper, or which you have seen in your current affairs magazine. Also in the current affairs magazine, they tend to give you too many species, and you don't need to prepare all the species. Well, so what basic criteria you can do is that you should first see the IUCN Red List status and the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 status. If it satisfies either of the two criteria, that is, it is either endangered, vulnerable, or critically endangered in the IUCN Red List, or it is Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972, then only it is important for the examination. Okay, they don't ask you about those species which are neither in Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 of WPA 1972, and also they are say least concerned or near threatened in IUCN Red List. That is, the species is not that threatened. Okay, so that species is not asked in the examination. Okay, and also apart from this, what one needs to do for the species apart from IUCN Red List status and WPA 1972 schedule, one needs to see the unique habitat of the species. For example, they asked about the ghadial, where it is found, that is the Chambal River. Unique features of a species, for example, Khadai camel, what it can do, or the Gangetic dolphin, whether it is blind, whether it is freshwater dolphin. Okay, Chilika Lake dolphin, these kind of things they have asked. Okay, Irrawaddy dolphin they asked in the examination, whether it is brackish water or fresh water. These kind of features you need to remember for the examination. Okay, if you see the previous year questions, then you will realize this. Also, other questions they asked regarding the Climate Change Organization and the International Convention. For your ease, I have already attached a PDF. You can click on this link. You will be able to click on the link when you turn on the presenter view for the presentation, as I have already told you. In these notes, you can add the latest developments from the current affairs magazine. Okay, and also in the environment section, other thing that you need to focus is the pollution. 1 year they asked about the plastic pollution or the microbeads. Then the clean energy, they asked about HCNG in 2019, that is the hydrogen CNG technology. Then the new legal amendments, say the draft EIA rules or the or plastic waste management rules. That these are asked in the examination. So these you need to prepare. Okay. And the reports or rankings, for example, climate change performance index, these are there. These could be asked in the examination. Another thing that you need to do is the state of forest report 2019, because the next report that will come in 2021 December. So that is not important for that will not come in 2021 prelims. So one needs to read this state of forest report 2019. So if you see the paper, the 1 year they asked. They have given you 4 states: Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, MP, Odisha, and they asked you to arrange in the decreasing order of percentage of forest cover. So one needs to read about the top 5 or top six states with highest forest cover. These things you need to prepare. States with highest area under forest, or the trend, like the forest which saw an increase, say the dense forest or the open forest, states with increase in forest, states with decrease in forest cover. These kind of questions are asked in the examination. In this manner you need to prepare. Okay. Also for environment section, one needs to cover around 2 years current affairs. Okay, for environment you need to cover current affairs from June 2019 to April 2021. That should be done. Okay, because as you know, the environment section is asked heavily in the examination. The one reason for this is that forest service and the civil services examination prelims are same, so they tend to ask more questions from the environment section. So what one needs to do is to devote some time for current affairs for the past 2 years. Okay, they ask current affairs in 1 year lang. Okay, for environment from June 2019 to 2021. So you can read the current affairs magazine for prelims 2020 and 2021, say the PT 365 for 2020 and 2021, or the Shunya IS magazine, or the newspaper notes, whichever you are following. However, you cannot follow all, that is the Shunya as well as PT 365 as well as newspaper. Follow one, and as per the cost benefit analysis or as per your comfort. Okay. And another section, that is the science and tech section. So what they asked in the science and tech section is, first is the technology is related to biotechnology and the nanotechnology. For example, in 2020 they asked about the carbon nanotubes, pro-nuclear transfer. And in 2019 they asked about RNA interference technology, CRISPR-Cas9. It was repeated in 2018 as well. GM mustard in 2018. And in 2016 transcriptome. I perfectly understand that some of these technologies you might not have heard. Okay, however, it is possible that when you have read the current affairs of 2 years, these technologies might have appeared. Okay, so you might be able to solve the question. I can perfectly understand even the people from medical background from IIT are not able to solve some of the question. But however, in some question you can apply basic common sense. For example, when they ask about the use of a particular technology, it might be possible that it could be used in all of the options given. Okay, or some of the question I can understand that are very difficult, that should be left. Okay, so another section that is out in the science and tech is the basic understanding and application of latest technology. For example, in 2020 they asked about the use of artificial intelligence and the visible light communication technology, drones. These kind of questions are out in 2019 about the LTE and the VoLTE. You know that these technologies are associated with 4G. Then the augmented reality and virtual reality questions were also out in 2019. Digital signatures, wearable technology. For example, the Apple smartwatch. You might have heard about it, or you might be owning it. Okay. In 2018, they asked about Internet of Things, GPS, IRNSS, and 2017 they asked about organic LEDs, 2016 Li-Fi. So what I am trying to say is that in these technologies, what you need to do is that you have to have basic understanding about this technology. So whenever you see any latest development in technology, say AR or VR, virtual reality and augmented reality, if you are not able to understand this technology, you can simply see a video in YouTube. Okay, so you can see animation of AR and VR, then can easily understand this technology, or say animation of Internet of Things. You will be able to understand these things. Also, you can take help of some channels. For example, the TED channel, TEDED. That channel is also useful for understanding about various things in science and tech portion. Okay, so you can type this, say this AI, and then type TED, then you can see the video. What is AI exactly? And they try to explain the things in short videos. Okay, and that might be helpful for you. Also, some of the technologies, many of these technologies appear in the current affairs magazine or the newspaper. From that you can solve this. Then another portion that is important for science and tech is the space missions. Okay, and the latest developments in space. They ask space missions mainly of ISRO and NASA. So for example, 2020 they asked about Evolve, LISA, then the concept of black hole, that is the merger of black hole, the gravitational waves. These are asked in the prelims. Okay, 2018 they asked about PSLV and GSLV, difference between the two. 27, that is, this part is related with the space, what ISRO is developing. 2017 they asked about ELISA, again this Evolve, LISA. So this question means related to each other. Then we have the event horizon. This event horizon and singularity is related to black hole. Again in 2019 you see the question related to black hole, or the gravitational waves are associated with these. Then they asked the question about Grease Lightning, GL10. Okay, then Astrosat, Mangalyaan. These are missions of ISRO. Also, this Greece lightning questions was there in the news, or you could have read about that in the current affairs magazine or the newspaper. However, this question could have been solved even by common sense, because the options they gave were so easy. For example, Greece lightning is an English name, so this must have been a program of NASA. Other options were ISRO, Japanese Space Agency, etc. So you could have crossed that out. I have already made a video out of this. Okay. So other thing that one needs to focus in the science and tech is the public health. For example, in 2020 they asked about conjugate vaccines. This was there in the current affairs magazine. From that you could have solved the question. In 2019 they asked about MDR, that is multi-drug resistance, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. These were asked in the examination. 2017 they asked about Zika virus. Then in Mission Andradhanush, FSI rules on food labeling. So this thing you need to focus from the whatever magazine or whatever newspaper notes you are following. Also in the science and tech portion, what I would like to tell you is that try to cover 2 years current affairs, that is June 2019 to April 2021. Okay. However, if you have less time, then you can cover only 1 year's current affairs. That is fine. But in environment, in the previous slide that I have told you, you have to cover 2 years current affairs. In science and tech, you can cover 1 year current affairs, but it is advisable to cover 2 years current affairs. Okay. So you may read the annual S&T current affairs magazine for prelims 2020 and prelims 2021, as I have discussed for environment section. Okay. Then we have the geography part. So if you see the questions from geography are dwindling. Sometimes they asked around 8 questions, sometimes 3 questions, 4 questions. Also, some of the questions are really difficult to solve. Most of the questions are map based or some conceptual based. Okay. So what I would tell you is that focus on these things for getting easy marks. That is the climatology portion. I have attached a PDF for you, this climatology related thing. All these notes are made from Rajat Anil's lectures. Okay, you can get it in YouTube. From that, I have made these notes. That is, they have also given us the PDF or the PPT. I have edited the PPT, and for your reference, I have attached the PDF for you. I have converted the PPT into PDF. You can see here. Okay. Then the other things that is important for the geography is the rivers. That is the map related things. Rivers. So they asked about various rivers of India, the tributaries of various rivers, or the places or the plateaus from which the rivers flow. For that, you can take the help of PMFIS. These links I have attached for you. Okay. So this may be helpful for you. Okay. You may try this exercise. From this, you can develop better understanding. However, if you have less time, you can see only the important rivers. For example, Ganga, Godavari, Brahmaputra, Indus. These. Now you can leave the smaller, less significant river. However, it is advisable to cover the rivers that are given at least in the NCERT. Okay, so see from NCERT which all rivers are mentioned. Then take the help of this PMFIS web links, and from there you can plot on a map or see at least which all states these rivers are flowing. Okay, west flowing rivers, east flowing river, what are its tributary. You don't need to remember left bank or right bank specifically. You just need to remember which all tributaries are there for a particular river, say for Ganga. Okay. Then other things which are easy to remember or which are low hanging fruits is the seas and the countries bordering them. For example, if you analyze the past year questions, you will see they asked about the countries bordering Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, etc. For that, you can see the maps of the countries bordering them. Also, here you can see the mnemonics for remembering the countries surrounding a particular sea. So, for example, you can Google search mnemonics for countries surrounding Mediterranean Sea. You will get so many websites and pick whichever mnemonic is suitable for you. I have also attached useful links for mnemonic. This is it is here, and also this Quora answer is also sufficient for various mnemonics. It also contains mnemonics for IR section and other section. Okay. Also, other things that are asked or in the recent year, they have also started asking about the rivers of the world, major rivers of the world, not all the rivers. Say the Yangtze River, Nile River. Okay. These river or the Thames River, they have asked in the examination. So you can read about these rivers and in which country they are flowing, in which seas they drain their water, or the ocean. This only is needed. Okay, you don't need to see all the states in the country where they flows. You just need to see in which all countries they are flowing. Say Mekong, which all countries it covers. Okay, in which sea or ocean it drains its water. This only you can see. Okay, and I've also attached mnemonics for you. Okay. Then also I would like to tell you something regarding the mnemonics. These mnemonics are helpful for remembering many of the things for the civil services examination. Okay, So, for example, in international relations, for example, for remembering the countries of a particular organization, say G20, okay, environment section or the geography section. So, for their mnemonics could be useful, okay. So you may either Google some mnemonics, as I have shown you in the previous slide, like mnemonics for countries surrounding Mediterranean Sea. You can Google this term, okay, or you can create your own mnemonics, okay, whatever suits you. However, however, having said that, these mnemonics can be no substitute to your basic understanding, okay. These mnemonics only supplement your knowledge retention power, okay. So don't try to try to search mnemonics everywhere. Try to remember things, or try to assimilate or internalize the facts within your heart, okay, or within your mind. So also one thing that I would like to emphasize is that mnemonics should be revised adequately before the real examination. Otherwise, in real examination, you might get confused what this acronym stand for. S stands for Slovenia, or say or say Sweden, or say Switzerland. Okay, you might get confused in the real examination. Okay, so try to see the mnemonics before the examination thoroughly, or revise it multiple times. Okay, but however, mnemonics are useful for remembering many of the facts. Okay, now let's come to the another section, that is the modern Indian history section. So in modern Indian history, we have this making of the constitution. I've already dealt this. I've already attached the PDF for you. Also, I've dealt this in the Lakshmikant or the polity section. Okay, so let's move to the other thing that we need to cover in the modern Indian history. In modern Indian history, as you know, the book, there is a very famous book, that is a Spectrum from Rajiv Vahir. Though I can understand some of the questions that is asked in the recent years are not from Rajiv Vahir, still sufficient number of questions could be solved from Rajiv Vahir's book. Also, some of the questions that they are asking, and some books are claiming it came from this book, say Plassey to Partition or other books. However, the what is there is the cost benefit analysis is low. So if you have not read these books, I would not recommend you to read these books. If you have stuck with Rajiv Vahir's Spectrum, stuck with that only. Some of the questions are really difficult in the exam, that needs to be left, or some of the questions you can apply basic common sense. For example, I dealt the question of that Desher Katha book. I have already made a video. Okay, so in that Desher Katha, they gave the statement like the Desh was used in the specific context of Bengal. So that statement should be wrong, because if that was used in the specific context of Bengal, then UPSC would not have asked that book in the examination. Okay, then that book would not have been significant. So if you cross out that statement going by your intuition, then you could have easily got the right answer by elimination. I've already made a video, you can see there. Okay, then the important chapters in the Rajiv Vahir's book, though other chapters are also important. However, if you want to prioritize, you can see this chapter, Development of Education. Okay, the Hunter Education Commission. Okay, and the various things that were done in the British time, Sadler University Commission. Okay, Sargent's Education Plan, or the Varda Scheme of Education, Development of Technical Education. These kind of things are dealt in the education chapter. Okay, the Madarsa by Warren Hastings, or the Fort William College. These are there in the education chapter. Okay, so this chapter you need to focus. Then many a time they asked about the civil and tribal uprising. This is asked in prelims as well as in mains. So you try to see the various civil and tribal uprisings, in which all states they were there, who were the important leaders, if there was some significant result of the tribal uprisings. Okay, significant feature that is asked in the examination. So whatever you have the capacity, or whatever you can cover or remember from the book, you can do there. Okay, and then the peasant movements is also somewhat asked. The working class movement, this is not that important. However, this chapter is not that long. You can easily read this. Okay, within an hour. Okay, then you can see this important things in the spectrum, that is the appendices given at the end of the book. So what all appendices one needs to cover? This is the very important is the Governor General. So in Governor General, what all things were done in their rule. Most of the things you must be knowing. However, you might not be knowing which all Governor Generals were associated. This also, if you read this chapter, this will also help you to remember the chronology of various events. Okay. So when you have completed the spectrum, then you should see these appendices only. Then you should see the appendices. First, you should cover the spectrum, that is from 1857 to the independence. Then see the appendices, that is the Governor General. Okay. Then the social religious reform movements, various social religious reform movements, important leaders, where these social religious movements were there. That is important for the examination. Then the caste movements, Similarly, as we have covered social religious movement, then also cover the caste movement. Then the newspaper and journals. You must have seen many questions are asked regarding newspaper and journals. I perfectly understand that some of the newspaper and journals that they asked in the examination are not there in the spectrum. However, whatever they have covered, you should read. Also, some of the newspaper or journal that they asked in the examination are either very difficult or could be solved by common sense. For example, you can see the previous year questions. Okay, so there some of the questions might be easy or some could be very difficult, or in the two options you might be knowing from spectrum and two you might not be knowing. That might help you to arrive at the answer, or you could come at least 50-50. Other thing they ask is the organization founded by important leaders, like the important organizations founded by Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar, okay, Jyotiba Phule, etc. These are asked in the examination. You should see this. Okay. For example, Hind Swaraj Sabha, they asked 1 year. They try to ask questions regarding matching of important leaders and the organization they founded. Okay, so similar as the case with newspaper and journals, here also you might be knowing only two statements. So that might help you to come at least 50-50 or solve the question entirely. Okay, sometimes you can either guess the answer. For example, if there is some North Indian name given for an organization and it is matched with some South Indian guy, then it is highly unlikely that organization could be found by South Indian guy. These kind of common sense kind of things you can apply. Okay. Then let's come to the ancient history part. In ancient history, as you know, around 2 or 3 questions are asked. So also the ancient history part is not that highly cost benefit point of view, not that highly productive. So what you can focus on these 4 chapters, that is the Indus Valley civilization, okay, the Harappa civilization. You should focus on this, and for that, if you have less time, you can see this the Tamil Nadu board's 11th NCRT. If you have not read any ancient history, you can read from this book. Why I am suggesting this book is that this book is really concise and it will not take much time to cover. Also, either in the ancient history part, they either ask either too easy question or they are really difficult. So if it is really easy, then it will be covered in the Tamil Nadu board's NCRT. Okay. However, it is difficult, then it is highly unlikely you will be able to recall the information from your sources. Okay. So, however, if you have covered the ancient history part from say NCRT, say the R.S. Sarma, etc., then you can stick to it. Okay. But if you have not covered or if you have less time, go for Tamil Nadu board's 11th NCRT. In that, or in whatever sources you have read for ancient history, you could focus on these 4 chapters. That is the ancient Indus Valley civilization or the Harappa civilization, the Vedic period, the Rig Vedic and the later Vedic period, the Mauryan period. You could have seen many questions are asked from regarding Ashoka. Ashoka period is really important. Okay. Then and also the Chandragupta. Okay. Then you have the Gupta period. Okay, that is also regarded as the golden age of in Indian culture. Okay, so this is also important from ancient history point of view. Then we have the art and culture. In art and culture, as you know, the very famous book, that is a Nitin Singhania's book. In that book, there are so many chapters. However, you need to do a selective study of the book. So the important chapters, if you have analyzed the previous year questions, you could easily guess, that is the Buddhism and Jainism chapter. So Buddhism and Jainism or the portion occur in the religions in India chapter of Singhania's book. Okay, so you can read those 2 sections from that book. Okay, from that chapter. So try to read these 2 chapters, read these 2 sections in detail. Okay, try to remember each and every fact that is given in the Singhania's book. Okay. Also, Buddhist literature and Jaina literature is there in the Indian literature section. So you read there. So what all books were there with the Mahayana Buddhism or the Hinian Buddhism. These things you need to remember. What all books were written in Sanskrit or the Pali or Prakrit. These are asked in the examination. Various sects of Buddhism or Jainism. Okay, say the Digambars or the Svetambars in Jainism. In Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism. Okay, Hinian Buddhism. Okay, these are asked in the examination. So I have attached references for you. I have tried to analyze the previous year questions from Mrunal sir's analysis, and this is the link. Also, also for the web pages, I have made the PDF. You can click here and to see the PDF. And this link contains various sources which you can refer for prelims examination. However, if you don't like any of the sources mentioned in the doc, you can discard them. Okay, but if you are confused or if you want to know from where you can cover a particular source, this is given in the this document which I have compiled. Then for detailed strategy on geography maps, you can go through this core answer given by a former civil servant. Okay. However, if you don't have time, then you don't need to go in detail with the answer. Okay. So that's why I've attached in the references. Thank you for your attention and patience. Best of luck for your future endeavors.